Bethesda advertised New Vegas heavily in Japan leading up to its 2010 release. Their promotional strategy included New Vegas-themed forum avatars, an ad campaign where protesters talk shit about JRPGs, and a flash game that appeared on the Japanese version of their website. It was an attempt to introduce Fallout to a Japanese audience, similar to what Square had done for the US with Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. The game was announced by a press release that read, "What would Fallout look like if it had been made in 1987 by a Japanese development studio?" Our scientists have answered that question, taking over the Japanese Fallout website with an 8-bit version of the Capital Wasteland. Just like that import copy of Final Fantasy V you nabbed in the 90s, this game is Japanese language only. Fortunately, it's still amusing to gaze at the pixelated approximations of super mutants and the like. Here's a direct link right to the game, no cartridge cleaning required. Text on the Japanese website read, "Bethesda introduces Fallout's appeal in an 8-bit JRPG style. An 8-bit RPG project called FreeStyle RPG has been released on the official website of Fallout New Vegas. Situations and choices are presented to the player, but you don't have to follow orders. You can aim or attack in any way that fits your playstyle. The choices you make will change the events that take place in the world." Sadly, this site was taken down not long after New Vegas's release. Files of the game still remain, but you have to connect to the server to play it, and since that's gone, the game is completely lost. Attempting to load it results in the flashing screen of a Pip-Boy light that goes on forever. All that remains of it now are a few screenshots and testimony from the few people who actually played it. The world map shows over 15 locations from Fallout 3 like Super Duper Mart, Fairfax Ruins, Red Racer Factory, and Vault 101. From what I've been able to find out, there wasn't much gameplay, and it essentially acted as an animated menu for the site's information while explaining various game mechanics. This is one of the strangest, most obscure stories in the Fallout universe, and I'll always wish I had the chance to play this post-apocalyptic JRPG. FreeStyle RPG will always be Fallout's final promotional flash game, but it wasn't the first one. To hype the release of Micro Forte's Fallout Tactics, Interplay released 2 flash games back in 2001. The first was a matching card game featuring familiar characters that I apparently failed. So yay? The second promotional game for Tactics was a clone of Simon Says. They're barely games, and I can confidently say they're the 2 worst releases in the series. Interplay wasn't done yet though. To promote the release of 2004's Brotherhood of Steel, they released a Frogger clone called Vault Dash. In case you forgot what you were playing between the time you clicked on the game and it loading, it yells the title at you.
Fallout Brotherhood of Steel.
After starting, you get a tip screen that reads, "You must navigate Cyrus, one of the heroes of Interplay's
Fallout Brotherhood of Steel."
From the bottom of the screen to the top while avoiding deadly toxic sludge and giant radioactive beast. Use your bonus weapon to kill the little enemies and your quick reflexes to avoid the big ones. If you get Cyrus into all 5 vaults safely, you'll advance to the next level. So you have to run across barrels floating in a river of radioactive waste. If you survive that, you then have to fight your way past deadly rat scorpions and giant hamsters. At first I thought the dying sound effect was caused by falling into the radioactive waste, but no, every time you die it sounds like a fucking vampire took a stake to the heart. As bad as this game is, it's actually still better than
Fallout Brotherhood of Steel.
That's all for our look into the weird history of Fallout's promotional flash games. Thank you so much for watching and have an awesome day.